Okay, well, we are here today. This is Mr. Wayner. We are making a note that talks all about conversions. These are the goes over the notes that we took yesterday. And today with me I have
Nora, Audrey, Mala, Emily, Lydia
as my special guests. They have been tested and tried, and they have been proven to know exactly what they're doing. So enjoy. Okay, we are going to go over some of what we like to call the Mr. W facts of life. If we do not know the Mr. W facts of life, we will not be able to solve any of these type of conversion problems. So here, helping me out with the first one will be Amala. Amala, can you tell us, how do we convert 1 centimeter? How many millimeters are in 1 centimeter?
There are 10.
There are 10. Good job. Let's write that on in. So there are 10 millimeters. Next up, Audrey, when we have 1 meter, which is our largest distance that we're looking at between meters, centimeters, and millimeters, how many centimeters fit into 1 meter?
100.
100. Wonderful. I'm starting to see a pattern here. All these numbers start with 1 and end with 0. And then the last one, Emily, 1 meter. That's the big distance that we have. If you spread your arms wide, that's going to be close to a meter. Millimeters. Oh, super tiny. How many millimeters fit into 1 meter?
1,000.
Oh, look at that. Another number that starts with 1 and then has a whole bunch of zeros after it. Let's take this and apply this to a couple problems. Next up for our special guest, we have Nora the Pro, who's in all the way from Nora. Where do you live?
I live in my house.
In her house. All the way from her house. She's here from her house.
Wow.
And the audience goes, ooh. Ooh. Thank you. What great sound effects. Okay, so Nora, what is one of the facts of life that we know? 1 centimeter equals how many millimeters? 1 centimeter equals how many millimeters?
10.
Wonderful. I knew I could count on you. 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. So this is kind of like the thing that if I drew Nora here, this is what she is thinking.
Don't forget my hair.
And her hair. Okay. So
That's terrible.
we're live, remember, we're live. So now Nora, now that we know this, we know that 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. This is what we're thinking about. 3 centimeters, triple that amount, is how many millimeters?
It would be 30.
30 millimeters. Now, what about 3.7 millimeters?
Well, you have to move the decimal over, so it would be 37.
37. Now, when I was talking with you girls earlier, you talked about a strategy. You said, if I know that centimeters is bigger than my millimeters. And that was a strategy that Audrey was talking about. And that was a great strategy to use. Good job, Audrey. A round of applause for Audrey. Good job, Audrey. So we can apply that same strategy here because we know that it's 1 power of 10 over. Because there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter, 10 times more. So we move our decimal over. Whoop. Now, Nora, what number do we know? 3 is really the same thing as what number? 3.0, right? So that's the same thing. We just move our decimal over 1 spot. Okay, next up, we have all the way from her house, Lydia. All the way from her home is Lydia.
Didn't really.
Woohoo!
I don't see why she gets better hair than me.
Okay. The video's live. The video's live. Okay. So, Lydia, what is the thing that we know? Well, we know 1 meter is how many centimeters?
1 meter is 1,000 centimeters. I mean, 100.
100. Very nice. She caught her mistake there. She helped. She was probably visualizing that meter stick. So she knows that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So if I have 15 meters, how many centimeters is that going to be?
1,500.
1,500. You notice something interesting here? The number 15, what happened to the number 15? I just added the
Zeros.
The zeros. Thank you, Audrey. Back to Lydia here. So what we see here is that we know that we can move a decimal over 2 spots based on the 2 zeros here. If the 0 followed 15, so it was 15.00, all I had to do was move it 2 spots to the right. Okay, back to Lydia. So Lydia, our next question is 1.73 meters equals how many centimeters?
173 centimeters.
How did you know that?
Because the decimal, you move it 2 spots to the right.
1, 2, which is 173. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. The lovely 5 ladies. Let's give the lovely ladies a round of applause and wave to the camera.
Hi. Bye.
And that wraps up our show for today.